Hi, and welcome to the Oikos Family Podcast. This is Season 2, Episode 28. I'm Sonia Wood, and thank you for joining me. Today, I want to share with you a little short story called 10 Minutes Delay. Maybe you know someone, or maybe you yourself have had struggles with procrastination. Well, this short story is all about that topic. It's one of those stories that can help us, to realize the importance of being obedient quickly and not procrastinating. So I hope you will find it helpful. Here it is, 10-minute delay.
10 minutes delay. All well-informed people are familiar with the sad account of the death of the young Prince Napoleon, who fell pierced by 19 wounds at the hands of the Zulus in South Africa, June 1st, 1879. Many will remember that Captain Carey, in his published report, mentioned that after they had selected the camping ground, the object for which the squad of 6 had been detailed, and had had coffee and rested, he suggested that they should remount and return to camp. But the young prince, who commanded the squad, said, "No, let's wait 10 minutes. Just as they were preparing to remount, at the expiration of that 10 minutes, a body of Zulus came on them, and all fled but the prince, whose horse broke from him. After a desperate resistance he fell, covered with wounds, and died in the tall grass of the Duga. I presume all do not know that this pleading for 10 minutes delay was a habit of the young prince from early childhood. A correspondent of a leading Paris journal interviewed the Empress as she was about leaving for the scene of the tragedy that had wrecked all her earthly hopes, and drew her into conversation on the subject of her son. She talked freely during the interview, but with an evident anguish of spirit, which seemed only the more sad from her effort at control. During this interview, while speaking of the childhood of her son, the prince, she unconsciously revealed the trait in his character that had caused all this woe. To her, wrecked hopes and a broken heart. To him, the probable loss of a throne, an earthly future, and his life. After describing her as still lovely in her lonely grief, the writer from whom we quote said, "The Empress had now risen and stood, slightly trembling with emotion, when, stepping rapidly and gracefully across the room, she opened a cabinet, from which she took a pocketbook, and read therefrom on a leaf, 'Going with Carey,' the last words ever written by the prince. Then she added, 'Of all that Captain Carey has ever written in regard to my son, those fatal 10 minutes alone I hold to be true. It was ever his habit,' she continued, 'to plead for 10 minutes delay. So much so, that I used to tell him they ought to call him Monsieur de Minute. He always begged for 10 minutes more sleep in the morning, 10 minutes more at night to sleep in his chair, and when too much overcome with sleep to speak, he would hold up his 2 little hands, the 10 fingers representing the 10 minutes more for which he pleaded.' The habit of procrastination is a deadly foe to all prosperity in temporal or in moral affairs. We ought to do every duty as soon as it can be done. I have a secret which I should like to whisper to the boys and girls, if they will put their ears down close enough. I don't want father and mother to hear, for it is to be a surprise on them. You have long wanted your own way. You have become tired of hearing mother say, 'Come right home after school. Don't be late. Be sure to tell the teacher.' It is do this and don't do that all the time. You are sick of it, and would like to have your own way. Well, put your ears down while I whisper one word. Obey. Oh, you think I am making fun. No, I am not. I know a boy who decided to do just what his father said. He never offered excuses, never tried to get out of work, until finally his father came to trust him perfectly. His father said, "I know that Harley will do what is right." When he went out nights or to school or to play, his father never said a word, for he had come to have perfect confidence in his boy. Honestly, obedience is the road to freedom. If you want to have your own way, just begin to obey.